They had chances to win at Liverpool, but they might well have lost it as well in the final seconds of this brilliant contest with Manchester United. 2-2 it finished, and here is Arne Slot with Patrick Davison.
Well, Arne might have won it, could have lost it as well. What's your take on all that we've seen?
Yeah, especially because they got a big chance just before the end. We also feel a bit relieved, but that might not be the story of the game, in my opinion. I think over the whole course of the game, we created much more chances than them. But being 1-0 down, then 2-1 up, and conceding such a big chance just before the end, also feels that maybe a point is something to take. But I think if I look it back tomorrow, I think I would have hoped for more. What
did you make of the performance up until 1-0 down? Because it almost felt like that sparked you into if I can say, a proper Liverpool performance.
Well, I'm not sure about that. I think if you look the game back tomorrow, you see the first 20-25 minutes we had three very good chances, open chances, really well played. But yeah, we play against very good individuals, very good players. I've said it many times now, and I think you could see it today again. It's also a chance for them against us to show themselves again, more than against Wolves at home or other games. So now they can compete with the best players in the league, and then you can see how that they also have very good players.
Yeah, I think you always knew it would be that kind of game, didn't you? As opposed to the game that maybe some fans expected, some of us in the media expected, where it was one-way traffic.
Yeah, I do think we had a lot of ball possession, but the game was played mostly on their half. I think in the end, in the last 15 minutes, you could see how well they could play if they play, because in the first 70-75 they only hit the ball long with Onana. But in the last 15 minutes, when it was so open on both sides, you could see if they were trying to, that they are even better than they maybe know themselves. But for the first 75, I think it was clear that we were more in control of the game than them, which you could also see in the amount of chances we had.
Yeah, and just tell us about the tactical battle, because before the game you weren't 100% sure what to expect from Man United. Formation-wise you were, but you didn't know if they were going to sit in a block or high press. How did you see how that kind of unfolded?
A bit of both. Mostly a low block they had, and sometimes they pressed a bit higher. And normally I've seen them a bit more bring the ball out from the back. Today it was every time when Onana had the ball, they didn't take the risk of build-up. So we weren't surprised with anything they did, because they played this style now for a few weeks. Maybe the only thing that was a bit different than other times is that they didn't do a lot of build-up. They mostly kicked the ball long.
Yeah. If and when they did cause you problems, and certainly the 2 goals, did you feel like a lot of it came down your right today?
Yeah, I think they did. That has also to do with Bruno Fernandes, which is a very, very good player. And he played a very good game today as well. So, and they've shown many times United, if things are really difficult for them, they can show up. They did this in the FA Cup final this season against the City away. So, and they did cause us some problems. Diallo was a threat as well on the left side. So, yeah. We are talking about 2 starters of the Portugal national team, and yeah, that's why it's not always easy to prevent them from getting in dangerous situations, which happened a few times today, and unfortunately that led to 2 goals.
Yeah, it did look like an unusually difficult afternoon for Trent, though. Do you think? I mean, there's been noise, a lot of it coming from us around him all season. Do you think that distraction finally got the better of him today?
No, I don't think so. I think Trent has played mostly very good games for this club, and there probably have been games that he wasn't on his best. Today wasn't his best game, but that probably had to do with them as well. Especially in the first half, sometimes Ryan wasn't close enough to him, so he was sometimes in a 2v1 situation as well. So I would put it more on the quality of Diallo and Bruno Fernandes than that is down to Trent.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Arne.
There's clearly a conversation to be had around Trent Alexander-Arnold and the noise, as Pat says, around him, the links with Real Madrid. He's coming to the end of his contract here at Liverpool, and his performance today. We've got Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville joining us shortly, and we'll get into that with them as well. On the style point, Daniel. He raised it about Andre Onana. He said it was a low block from Manchester United today, and unlike usual, Onana went long most of the time. We just checked it. 80% of Onana's passes were long today, compared to the season average of 38. Does that tell a story?
I don't know. I think all in all, regardless of the stats and whatever we want to look at, I think Man United showed up today, and that's the biggest story.
But do you think Liverpool didn't show up?
I don't think they didn't play to their level. I wouldn't say they didn't show up, because I think they showed fight when they went 1-0 down. So in turn, you can say yes, they didn't perform. But like the manager said in the interview just then, if they take one of those first 3 chances in the first 20 minutes, it could have been a very different result. And Man United then have to show fight. And I don't know if they would have had that fight in them. But when you go 1-0 up, it becomes a very different game, and you have a different level of confidence.
Yeah, but if United certainly learned from earlier in the season, they weren't going to take them chances where Liverpool were pressing them high up the pitch at Old Trafford and won it, and punished them on a number of occasions. So that's credit to United. You're not going to play into Liverpool's hands by playing up and taking silly chances. So I think that was just good tactical play. And if Liverpool are frustrated with that, then so be it. It's up to them to figure it out. But that's just a case of Man United coming here, confidence low. They can't win a game. They got punished heavily early in the season by Liverpool by trying to play out and trying to be too clever. So why the hell would they do that again today? They wouldn't. They obviously learned from it and thought, listen, we're not going to take any chances. We'll go a bit longer. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Might Liverpool actually reflect that was an important point in the end, a point gained?
Maybe, but I think that
I'm not going to show you the Harry Maguire chance again, don't worry.
I mean, I think playing against Manchester United is always a big game, regardless of where they are in the league. It's always going to be a tough match, and I think that you would take a point given the how the game went today. Now, prior to the game, of course, you would say Man United would have lost this match, but they performed very well. I've got to give them the credit they deserve versus saying it's about Liverpool, because they just performed really well.
I think actually Liverpool should go the other way and be really upbeat about it. Whatever about the expectation before the game, we thought United would probably get well beaten, but United came here last year and got a result. So this idea, you look where the league table is, and the way Liverpool played okay today. Yeah. They were okay, they had chances, the managers had a good chance, but they could have lost it at the end. When you're trying to win league titles, you're obviously going to have your disappointments. You're going to have your days where you turn up and you go, we expect to win here today, and it doesn't happen. That's the whole idea of dropping points. Arsenal probably were disappointed last night. Look where Man City are. Yeah. Chelsea, teams will drop points. But I think the key for Liverpool today was getting something out of the game. Don't lose the game. Take the pluses. United at some stage were going to produce a performance. It happened to be today. But if I was Liverpool and they're in their camp with their manager, with their senior players, the message tonight when they're all doing their media stuff is, hey, we'll take it. We'll take a point. It's another game. We'll move on. You look at the league table, what a position they're to be in. The points clear, the goal difference, their attacking players on form. Disappointed a little bit today, but be upbeat about it. The bigger picture, it's another point, the less game. I think it's been not a bad weekend for Liverpool.
Well, there's the voice of experience from someone who's been in this position plenty of times before with Manchester United, of course. But it's an interesting few weeks ahead for Arne Slot and his side with the Carabao Cup. Of course, the start of the FA Cup journey as well. But then 2 very interesting Premier League games to follow from this one against Manchester United today. Against Forest, the only team to beat them so far. And Forest, as we know, are flying. And Brentford, one of the strongest sides in the Premier League at home.
This is when it gets interesting. This is where, we're going to see Arne Slot and what he's going to bring now. How he's going to get his players firing. Of course, Forest have been very well, conceded, very little goals too. And they create so many chances on the counter-attack, and Brentford have players who can hurt you as well. So these 2 games, although when you look at them on paper and you see the names of the teams, you don't see Chelsea, Man City, all these, you're thinking, Forest, Brentford, yeah, sure, you should get a result. But these are 2 games where the potential banana skins, mate. So if you're in that Mario Kart, you've got to try and weave and beave and make sure you don't, you know what I mean? It's the truth.
Yeah, obviously there's challenges ahead from, but that's, again, no one gives you a league title.
But is there just a little bit of encouragement for Arsenal tonight?
Oh, there will be from other
yesterday?
teams, especially the couple of goals they've given up. And even over the last month, Fulham came here, got 2, they conceded 3 at Spurs, and go back a bit further at Newcastle. So they've had their moments where you look, defensively, you do look a little bit sloppy, but they've got that many goals for them. And we asked the question at the start of the season, if you'd offer this to Liverpool, what a position to be in. And look at all the other teams near the top. You'd want to be in Liverpool's camp.
Yeah. And they've still got a game in hand on the rest as well. We will hear from the Manchester United manager, Ruben Amorim, before we're done here. Reflecting on this performance, he said he wanted some time with the players on the training ground, and that's what he got at the end of it. And he's got another clear week before they head to Arsenal in the Cup next week. And we'll be rejoined by these two. Gary wasn't really convinced he wanted the game on earlier today. With Jamie was getting snow off the pitch, Gary was putting it back on. But that's what you got from him in the end. A topsy-turvy journey. It was a roller coaster afternoon here at Anfield. And we're not finished yet, here on Super Sunday.
You'll never